Hello everyone, in this video, we'll walk through the step-by-step process of setting up an Unraid server. Whether you're a beginner or looking to optimize your setup, I'll guide you through everything you need to get started. Let's dive in. We're going to start by creating a bootable Unraid USB drive. You can download the Unraid USB creator from the official Unraid website. I've included the link in the description. The process is simple and straightforward. Just follow along with the steps shown in the video to create your bootable drive. Make sure to use a high-quality USB drive with at least 8 GB of storage. The Unraid activation key will be linked with that USB drive's serial number, so if you copy and paste the files from the original USB to another drive, Unraid won't boot from it. Since Unraid runs directly from the USB drive, there's no need to install it on the computer itself. The advantage of this is that you can move your Unraid server to a different device easily while keeping your settings intact. For example, if you first set up your Unraid server on a small desktop that holds only 2 hard drives, but later upgrade to a larger system with more drive bays, the transition will be seamless. You won't lose any of your data or configuration. To switch to a new machine, simply plug in your Unraid USB boot drive into the new computer. Use the same configuration as your old setup. If your previous system had 2 hard drives, start with those same 2 drives in the new one. Once everything is working fine, stop the array and then add as many hard drives as needed. Let's get back to the Unraid USB creator. The USB drive has been successfully created. Now, close the Unraid creator, then open the USB drive to verify that all the files are present. Unplug the USB drive, and let's move on to setting up Unraid on the desktop. For this setup, we're using a Lenovo ThinkCentre, a compact desktop that supports one M.2 SSD and one 2.5-inch drive. I'll be using 512 GB SSD as the data drive. Two TB HDD as the backup drive. Preparing the hardware. Connect all necessary peripherals, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and network cable. Insert the Unraid bootable USB drive into a USB port. Power on the desktop and immediately press F12 to access the boot menu. For different models, try F2, F11, or F9, as boot keys may vary. In the boot menu, select the Unraid USB drive and press Enter. On this screen, select GUI mode for an easier setup process. Unraid will now boot from the USB drive. At the login screen, enter root as the username. For the password, either set one now or leave it blank for now. Once logged in, activate the 30-day free trial. This gives you full access to test Unraid before deciding to purchase a license. After activating the server, let's go back to the main view to continue the setup. On the main view, I will select the 2 TB HDD as the backup drive and the 512 GB SSD as the data drive. Since I'm using an SSD as the data drive, I don't need to set up a cache drive. However, if you're using an HDD as the data drive, it's recommended to set up a cache drive with at least a 256 GB SSD for smoother performance and faster write speeds. After completing the hard drive selection, start the array. Next, check the box and click on Format to prepare the hard drives. Keep in mind that formatting the backup drive may take some time, depending on its size. While the backup drive is formatting, let's configure a static IP so the server can be accessed from another device. I'll set the IP address to 192.168.1.200, but you can choose any IP address that works for your network. Just make sure it's within your local subnet and not already assigned to another device. To connect from another computer, open a web browser on that computer. Enter the Unraid server's IP address to access the dashboard. Create a login password. This will be required every time you access the server. After logging into the server, you'll notice at the bottom of the main view that the backup drive is still formatting. It has about 3 hours left to complete the process. Once the formatting is complete, I'll reboot the server and configure power recovery mode in the BIOS setup. The power recovery mode feature ensures that the server automatically restarts in case of a power loss, allowing it to resume operation without manual intervention. Once the formatting is complete, reboot the server and enter the BIOS setup. Navigate to the Power tab and set After Power Loss to On. In some models, this setting may be called Power Recovery. Press F10 to save the changes and exit the BIOS. Unplug any unnecessary peripherals such as the monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Then, restart the server. After the reboot, you can connect to the server from any other computer on the network. The Unraid server is now fully set up and ready to go. That's all for setting up an Unraid server. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more content. In the next video, we'll go over some basic setup configurations to get your server fully optimized. Stay tuned.